Welcome back to another Not So PG podcast. And today we have a very special guest. Some might call him my too hot to handle twin. Joao. Did I pronounce that correctly for everybody?
Yes,
Joao.
sir.
I love that name.
Yeah. What up, guys? I'm Joao, 22 years old, born and raised in Brazil, and I'm an artist. Nice to meet you guys.
Hell yeah, man. When did you move to the U.S. from Brazil?
I never officially moved to the U.S. because it takes a lot of paperwork and
Of
time.
course.
I just keep going like back and forth. So I'll come in, I'll spend like 3 months, do what I need to do in here. Then I leave. I live in between like L.A., Barcelona, Malta, and Brazil. Kind of. It's crazy.
That's really cool.
The past
yeah.
4 years have just been like moving around. I live inside my suitcases.
Is that when you first came here 4 years ago? To the US?
2021. Yeah, it was
Okay.
like September
Your English
2021.
is like perfect. Is that like common for people from Brazil?
No.
No?
I was gonna say definitely.
Why
not.
does it like not sound like you have much of an accent?
Well, when I was younger, I was about like 9 years old. My grandpa was always like, you need to learn English. You need to learn English. It's important. It will open a lot of doors for you. So he kept pushing me to like go to English school and all of that, like extracurricular.
Yes.
And then when I was 16, I moved to Barcelona to play soccer. At the time,
that's awesome.
I was a goalie.
Yeah.
And my roommates in Barcelona were all from like Portland, Texas, Vegas. So I just ended up catching the accent really quick. And I'm very good with languages too. I also speak Spanish. I know a little bit of Russian because I dated a Russian girl for a while.
That's
so
cool.
It's like I'm very easy when it comes to languages.
Hell yeah, baby. So what got you on Too Hot to Handle? What made you want to shoot that?
I was here in LA, kind of like down on my luck at the time, and I was just going through my DMs, and I think it was, I don't know if I'm allowed to say the name, but one of the casting producers,
Yeah.
she just hit me up. She was like, hey, we're casting for Too Hot to Handle. It's the first time everyone knows that they're going on. Would love for you to fill out this application. And I filled out, and the rest is history.
Were you nervous about like applying for the first season that was like, we know what we're going on? Like how did you think that would play out for you? Knowing that the previous seasons, like you got to restrict yourself and you're like going into it knowing like, I have to restrict myself.
I honestly loved the approach because the approach this season is like, why would you sign up for Too Hot to Handle, right?
Yeah.
What is the issue that you know that you have, or like that somebody that is close to you knows that you have, and why are they sending you on this retreat? Like,
Yeah.
what do you need to work on? And I personally just loved it, and I was like, oh, this is perfect, because I was also going through a lot of relationship issues at the time too. So I was like, maybe this is a good opportunity to work on myself and obviously get some exposure. Let's be honest, we're all very happy about that.
Yeah, of course.
Like whoever says, oh, I didn't go into Too Hot to Handle to get exposure is a fucking liar.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know what you're getting yourself into. Like that is kind of like the thing a lot of people don't want to mention is you know what you're going there for, aside from just this retreat, which I kind of felt like I was there for the same reason as you, like where it is a retreat.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people kind of forget, like, did Lana save you after? I felt like she did, which is crazy. Like there were clips of me talking about it, being straightforward. Like, I don't know if it's because of Lana, but like, I don't feel like I want to be a part of hookup culture anymore. And like, that's just like, again, maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe I just had a change of heart afterwards. But for me, I feel like it really did like change me. Do you feel like it had that same effect on you?
I totally agree with you. I was talking about it today on one of my lives. I was like, Lana's process is real. If you go into the retreat and you take the workshops with like Brendan and all the other teachers per se, right? You will learn something about yourself. It's way deeper than they make it seem to be. Like, bro, we had a mirror workshop where you have to stare at the mirror for like good 15 minutes silent. Like you start seeing past your own surface. You're like, fuck, this is what the fuck is wrong with me, right?
Yeah, wow.
And then we had a womb workshop where we had to go back to the womb, let's say, and like hear moms talking to us and giving us relationship advice. Like that shit is real. Like you can't fake those tears. My reaction was like instant. It is real, guys. Like that's the thing a lot of people don't know is that it is a lot deeper than it seems to be. And I do feel like I'm a way better person after Lana's retreat. Before I had a huge problem with like lying to my partners and like hiding things because I didn't want to hurt them.
Yeah.
Because I have a hard time dealing with disappointing people around me. You know, I grew up struggling with the feeling of not being good enough. So like facing disappointment brings that back. So I would always take the easy way out. I would ghost, I would lie to them, I would hide things, I would distort the truth. I would gaslight whenever I would get caught in a lie.
Yeah.
And nowadays I'm like, no, yeah, like I did those things. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm still growing and learning like everybody else in this world.
Yeah, and I feel like the fact that you have the ability to admit that, to admit those faults, where I think a lot of people at home have, or just not at home, just in general, people in general, like I was talking about how you see like true genuity on the last podcast, and it was like somebody that can self-reflect. The moment you hit that point of self-reflection, you can look at your own imperfections. That shows that you're in this state of self-betterment. So I think that that is what, maybe that's what it taught you. I don't know. That self-reflection is so big, but then when you could bring that self-reflection to the outside world, I think that's where you really get saved. And do you think that it was a hard experience? Would you consider it, to handle, have been like hard for you, or do you think it was just emotional?
It was very emotional and interesting, like just watching the way people behave once cameras are on, right?
Yeah.
What else? The temptation and how heightened the emotions are in there. Because you're literally like, you're locked in a house with a bunch of hot people, and you can't do something that you really want to do. Like that makes you just want to do it more. And on top of that, every connection in there just seems so real, because you have no phones. You don't have contact with the outside world. You don't have any distractions. Like you're literally just there spending every waking moment with somebody, and that's kind of the only thing you do.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people don't realize, like, that's also what makes the show so much more real than people think. They're like, why do you get so emotional? Why are these situations so intense for you? Like, you don't have anything else. It's not like you go on your phone, you escape, text a friend, you go watch this video on TikTok. Like, your entire life is what's happening on that show, and that 2 weeks time frame feels like 3 months, in my opinion.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
Yeah, and I feel like if people kind of could understand and put themselves in that mindset, I think they'd understand you guys a little bit more about how like emotional you get on the show. But now in the villa, who would you say you had, male or female, had the deepest connection with, and who maybe not?
Good question. I would say, obviously Flavia was the person I was the closest with. We had a romantic connection while we were in there, and we were very close. I speak fluent Spanish, and she's from Peru, so I feel like she also kind of found a safe haven in me.
Okay.
In a way of like, oh, I can actually come across the way I want with this guy. So we understood each other very, very well, and we still do. Although we're not like romantically involved, we still carry a lot of love and caring for each other. Like we understand each other. We have a great friendship.
That's awesome. Let me ask you a question. So she's obviously beautiful, Flavia.
Yeah.
Right? Why the hell did you leave her? And why did you leave her? Bro, I don't know if you saw this. He takes out a guitar and he sings to her about leaving. I saw it. And then when everyone asks you about it, like, you did what? And you're like, yeah, like it was the most normal thing that's ever been done in the world. So
it was a pretty wild way to do it, I'm not gonna lie.
I guess 2 questions there, but it's like.
All right, why did I do it?
Yeah.
First of all, she turned her head, and I'm not nobody's second option, ever. It's like, I get it. You're dealing with your own shit, your own demons. It's something that you need to work on personally, but personally, I am nobody's second option. I'm not going to be your experiment, basically.
Yeah.
No hard feelings whatsoever. It's just, that was about you figuring out your own issues, but now it's about me. So how do I want to move about this way? And I was like, nah, I don't fuck with that. And obviously, like, if it happened earlier in the retreat, I feel like it would have been a different outcome.
Yeah.
But it's like,
you're so deep in it.
Like, we're like basically at the end.
Yeah.
It's like, I say this on the show, if it's that easy for your head to turn in here,
yeah.
Imagine when you're in Peru and I'm in Brazil or in LA, and you're at a party and there's like 20 other dudes there that are maybe just more of your type than I am physically.
That's really kind of deep thinking, and I know it doesn't sound deep to the audience, but remembering like putting yourself in that place you're at while you're filming, like I feel like you can't even think of the outside world. So for you to go be like, what's this going to be like when we get out of here?
Look at the
I think
bigger
it was kinda
picture.
looking ahead. Okay.
Looking at the bigger picture, right? It's like a relationship. Like I said this already. It's like I could have played the game.
Yeah.
I could have been like, yes, baby, let's work on this and take it to the outside world, thinking about the $100,000 that would be waiting for us, because I genuinely believe we would have won if I decided to like stick with her, because we had just a beautiful story. But my whole point on going on Too Hot to Handle was to learn how to be truthful to myself and to my partner. And I would be lying to the both of us and the audience if I was just like, yeah, it's rainbows and butterflies, let's stay in Lana Land forever. It ain't like that. We got a whole world with 8 billion people out here. We're both going back to our lives. We both live super fast lives by being artists and constantly traveling and all of that. So it's like, it would have been hell. It wouldn't have made sense. So I chose to stick to my truth and the way that I was feeling over $100,000 and maybe being liked by the public. I don't give a fuck. I didn't go there to be liked. I went there to become a better person.
Yeah. But now, why the
Yeah, why? So you definitely skipped that part. That was good to me.
I was hoping it would have been brought up
I
again.
think it was like a good way, because like I've heard of like good ways to break up with people.
Yeah.
Right, where it's like, you ever see the new Zac Efron movie where he's like, every girl he breaks up with, he gives.
Yeah,
her, like,
he
a
gives her
diamond ring,
earrings. Yeah.
and he's like, it's over. And she's like, oh, that's really fucking beautiful, but like, okay. So like in your head, was it like, at least I'm singing to her in the end?
It's not even that. So I wrote that song about 2 years ago. After my first relationship, we were in a little limbo stage, and like they literally butchered the song. They put "Is Our Time Up?" Whoa, 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 and let's go with it.
Yeah.
Like the song is out, has a way deeper meaning.
Now. It's fucking catchy though.
It's a banger, like bro, it's a fucking banger. I can't lie, but they just butchered a song and they put in like those 3 words and whoa, 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 and it's like all right, if you guys genuinely want to know what the song actually sounds like and the meaning behind it, go listen to it. It's called "Is Our Time Up?" It's on Spotify. Great track, very rock. If you fuck with that, go do that. But
I have a great idea, by the way, not to cut you off.
Okay.
What if you make the music video you singing a Flavia breaking up?
that's
so perfect.
when is this episode coming out?
What's up? This episode? Probably next week.
Okay. Flavia and I actually have a surprise for you guys.
Oh, so like they were
That's
talking.
sick. Yeah,
Dude, that's so good. No, you have to do that.
They're already ahead of us.
Her and I have a great surprise for the public. I'm not gonna spoil it yet, but it's gonna leave everyone like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's gonna be ridiculous.
funny, dude. I can't wait to see
I'll
that.
show you off camera.
Okay.
But yeah, it just felt right. I was like, this is the way I'm feeling right now, like as if she was in my spot, right? The opening line of the song is, yeah, I lied to you. I can't change the fact that I fucked up. And it applies so much to the situation. It's like she messed up, whatever, in the context of the retreat.
Yeah.
And I was like, I told her like, hey, I wrote the song a while ago, but I feel like it applies to the situation. Do you mind if I sing it to you? That didn't make the cut. Obviously.
Yeah. And like you also got to remember, like, this isn't real life. Like,
No.
in real life, you're not saying like, babe, just come in this next room with me and like just start singing. Like that's not like you got to remember, like these
Unless
are
you're Justin Bieber.
These are I would hope you wouldn't do that either. But like, but like these are special circumstances. But like the only reason I would have told you like I don't know is because have you ever seen season 1 of Too Hot to Handle?
I've seen 1 and I seen all the guys that sang.
Yeah. And
I've seen all the guys
and
that
they
sang.
always fucking like make like it's like kind of funny to everybody.
But I will say something that I've learned watching The Wolf of Wall Street. Any publicity
Yes.
is good
Oh, yeah.
publicity.
Absolutely,
You
bro.
know the amount of rage streams that I'm getting right now?
It's so funny.
Oh, sure.
But you know what? Here's the difference though. Like I think it's actually a good song. Like I think it actually is catchy. Which is the difference if like it was like funny and then it was like the song kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Like, all right. But like good publicity on top of the song, I personally think actually sounding good. I don't think it hurts.
That's the thing. Everything that I said I was going to do on Too Hot to Handle, I was able to back it.
Yeah.
Like, I might come across as cocky saying this, but everything that I've done so far, I was able to back it.
It's not cocky, and we talk about this a lot, bro. It's manifestation, and something from my season when I spoke to a lot of the people about. There was maybe 1 or 2 people that said otherwise, but they all said they even manifested being there.
Yeah.
Not specifically on Too Hot to Handle, but in this moment, at this age, having this big opportunity.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that same thing went for you. That you manifested this.
100% in
Yes.
general. I am big into manifestation. I speak things into existence, and I carry myself as I am already the rock star, right? Like in the beginning, everyone was giving me hella hate, like, oh, he's cringe, he's not a rock star. I knew I wasn't a fucking rock star. You know, like going into the show, I didn't even have music out yet.
Yeah.
I had a great EP waiting, but I didn't even have music out yet. I was like, I am going to go in there. I am going to, like, make myself who I want to be.
Yeah.
Right? I've always been a confident guy. I've worked in entertainment for 4 years, so I know the industry.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm going in there and I'm going to be me.
Yeah.
And that's what I was. It's like, people might not like it. I might come across as super on your face, but that's who I am, and that's all I know how to be.
Yeah.
You know, and I also have a really sweet side too. You can see in the scene with Lucy and the way I treat Flavia, the way I carry myself and I speak in general. It's like, I am intelligent, but I also know what I need to do to get to where I want to be.
Yeah.
You know, and that's navigating that was the tricky part, but I feel like it worked out.
For me, I feel like the manifestation part was easy. Like I understood very well how like if you believe in something,
Yeah.
work a little bit for it, it just works, and just knowing that is how
Yeah.
it works.
Yeah.
When these opportunities came and the numbers came in, the hardest thing for me to realize was that not everybody has to like you. That was something that took me some time. And if you already have that figured out, then you're fucking golden. But for me, it was like, some of the biggest celebrities in the world have the most haters.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. And if this is the life you want, you have to be ready for that.
One of the guys that I look up to so much is Machine Gun Kelly. Like I resonate with his story a lot. A lot of his music influenced my music, and dude basically built his career off for haters. You know, everyone hated him
hates
with
on
the
him.
Eminem beef, and then when he switched to rock, everyone's like, "Oh, he's going rock. Look at the guy now." You know, like,
Hey, it's good music.
no, he makes
Yeah,
great
it's good
music.
Yeah.
His lyrics are unmatched.
He's
Yeah.
so talented,
Yeah,
dude.
he's
to
great.
see someone go from just one genre to the next like that, that's
it's
how
pretty
you know they're
impressive.
just a musician. Like,
And now he's making country.
Yeah, literally.
bro, but like
It's
you better
insane.
believe he could do it, bro. He went from straight rap battling Eminem to making the sickest punk rock music ever.
Yeah.
And like bringing that generation back, which is like pretty crazy.
Insane.
You know what I mean? But I think that just comes back to manifestation and believing yourself and not allowing other people's judgments and beliefs in you change how you see yourself, because he could have like went in a hole after Eminem apparently destroyed him in the rap battle.
Yeah.
He regrouped. He's like, how am I going to come back differently? And he killed it.
And I agree with you. It is hard. Like I've always been like well resolved with myself as like I'm me, and that's what, not always, but like for the past while.
Yeah.
And I spent 7 months doing a lot of soul searching and really trying to figure out who the fuck I am. I went to like this little town in the middle of Spain. Nobody, literally just me and my dad, my home studio and all that. And just to figure out like, who the fuck are you? You know, because it wasn't easy. And I still get affected by some comments because I hate being misunderstood.
I know. Yeah.
You know, like
That's
that.
terrible.
That scene with the guitar was me trying to express the way I was feeling at the moment, queuing up a breakup conversation. Hence why the name of the song is Our Time Up, not Our Time Is Up.
Yes.
It's a fucking question.
Yeah.
Right? And I hate feeling misunderstood. But I had an interesting conversation with my mother the other day, and she was like, you didn't go there to be liked. You know, you're not doing this to be liked. You're just being yourself, and if people fuck with you, they fuck with you. If they don't, it is what it is. Jesus wasn't liked by everybody, right?
Exactly.
What makes me think I will?
The most perfect man in the world was hated, spit on. So like, it's like that I've actually brought that exact quote up on this podcast, where it's like, if people were going to crucify the most perfect man that ever lived, who am I to be upset that people are judging me? Like, if that's not proof enough. And also, like, it's not your problem if someone misinterprets you. That's their problem.
Yeah.
Because, like, a guy like you or me, like, I'm never going to go just prejudge somebody.
No.
Or, like, take one thing they said and be like, oh, that's the type of person they are. And I think that once you notice that, that's when your manifestations get even more powerful, because it's just like, you're not going to let it affect you. Only your thoughts affect you.
Who am I to judge anybody too, right? I feel like a lot
Exactly,
of people,
yeah.
they have this righteousness of like, oh, I'm going to judge you because you're this, you're that. First of all, you don't even know me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're judging me off of
No idea.
a 30-second clip that was heavily edited. Like, shut up.
Yeah.
First things first. Second of all, like, your shit stinks too. You got skeletons in your closet. You got rocks in your shoes too. So who are you to judge me?
A lot of people like to throw bricks from a glass house, is what
Right?
I noticed, which
Exactly.
is so true. And it's like, because even I've seen things like thrown at me where I'm like,
Really?
sure, maybe some of that's true. However, I know what the fuck you've done too. So who are you to throw bricks at me? Who are you to cast stones and judgments on me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like also, you got to remember the people that are casting the stones, their mentalities are so screwed. And like the people that are negative and do hate, you got to remember their belief systems are just so negative of themselves. And most of the time, it's them projecting.
Yeah.
It is them projecting, and that's why like that does take a lot of the stress away from me for those negative comments, especially like the bullshit ones where like he looks fucking weird and like his hair looks funny. And it's like all right, but like for you to be so hateful that like you wanted to take the time out of your day to talk shit about somebody, it's like that just tells me a lot about you.
And based on looks too, it's like, oh, he looks weird. It's like, so I am fucking weird, dude.
Yeah.
Like I walked in here in overalls, painted nails, and like my hair all fucked up. It's like, yeah, I am weird. So what?
Give a shit. Yeah.
Exactly. At least I'm myself. I'm not hiding behind a facade, right?
Yeah.
I'm not
At
pretending.
least you're happy, bro. That's all that
Exactly.
matters. As long as you're happy, who gives a shit what people got to say?
Yeah. And now, after the show, after all this, now that you kind of have like a name to put with the face, what are your goals? Like, where do you see yourself going from here?
Bro, my end goal is music. It's my passion, is what I love to do, is what I dedicate most of my time and energy to. I don't even care about social media and all of that. It's like, for me, it's just too superficial. Like, I enjoy the attention and I enjoy having people like interact with me. Like, I like to go live every day because I genuinely enjoy fan interactions. But like, my goal is to make the best music I possibly can and leave a legacy in this world. Because we're all going to die one day, let's face it. We're all going to be dust. But what are you going to leave behind, right? I'm not going to leave this I'm not going to take this with me. I am not going to take a nice car with me. I'm not going to take a nice house. Like, that's all whatever, followers, right? But what am I going to leave behind? My goal is to leave the best music possible that speaks from the heart and that can influence generations. Like when you listen to Nirvana, when you listen to the Foo Fighters, when you listen to Van Halen, Red Hot Chili Peppers, when you listen to, I don't know, Biggie, Tupac, right?
Yeah.
Those guys had vision. They had something that they wanted to portray to the world and a message. So that's my goal. Spread my message, make people be more loving. Like, I don't understand. I cannot grasp the concept of hate.
I'm completely with you, bro.
It's like,
You literally
Yeah.
sound like a spitting image of me
Yeah.
on this podcast. I don't know if you've seen other episodes, but like this is the same shit we talk about.
it's literally like,
It's been getting bad lately, too.
it doesn't
getting
make
worse.
sense,
The
bro.
negativity. It's like, how could you want to, like, don't you want love? Like, don't you realize the answer to everything
It
is
feels so much
love?
Literally.
better.
And if everyone could just adopt that, the world would be perfect.
Bro, you said, like, we must be twins. Because,
Yeah.
like,
We both stole 2 chicks on 2 iPhones.
true.
You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of weird. It's funny. And like some people might like go ahead and think like, oh, that show's scripted. Like, what are the odds of 2 of the same looking dudes fucking went and did the same thing? It's like, we must just be in a simulation. that's what I get from that.
No, and having the same ideas. See what you said. Like, walking down the street and like seeing somebody and being like, hey man, you okay? Like, are you good? Or like going to a gas station and while you're paying for whatever you bought, it's like, how's your day going?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That shit goes a long way.
Yeah.
And people don't realize that.
You know what I've noticed coming to LA? Because we're originally from New York. In New York, it's very proper to like, you buy something, thank you. LA, they don't do that.
Nah, everyone's
It's
too
very
stuck up.
Yeah, it's very non-confrontational. Even the other day, we had to get our suits measured. Simple, super simple thing, take you 30 seconds. We had to go to 3 shops because all these shops thought they were too good to give us a 5-second measure. Where it was like, what's the big deal? And everyone was super nasty about it too. They were like offended that we would ask them that. It was like,
Like, yeah, maybe try a lower range shot.
yeah, we were like, relax.
fuck
Just
you, dude. Like,
give us a measure.
Like, wow.
What did we do to you? I'm
like,
asking you a question.
why do you think that's the energy out here?
I feel like everyone thinks too highly of themselves. They're too stuck up, right? Everyone thinks that they're the shit.
Yeah.
It's a ego thing. Everyone thinks they're the center of the universe, and it's like, No one is, bro. Like we're all people. We're all here in the same boat. No one asked to be here. I didn't ask to be here. I was put in this world. I came to life, and I'm just trying to navigate it in the best way. Just like you guys at home. So like, let's just be kinder to each other. It's like,
Yeah.
I experienced this at a party the other day. I was trying to go into this after party, and like a bunch of dudes and girls are trying to get through the door, and they're like, oh, I am this, I am that. And the owner of the house comes out. He's like, hey guys, can you please leave? And I was like, dude, I'm so sorry. I was really just trying to have a drink and have a good time, but I'm leaving. He was like, wait a second, wait on the corner. I got in, and everyone went home.
Yeah.
Humility goes a long way.
Yeah, of course.
It's literally like, hey man, I'm sorry. I don't mean to bother you. You know how they are with girls in LA. It's like, I'm not trying to take your girls. I'm just too lit. I'm trying to have a drink, have a good time, and go home. It's like, it's cool. Do you think?
Yeah.
So what I've found also with those interactions with the negative people, with the positive people, is like matching frequencies and changing others' frequencies. So like when someone's positive with you, you're positive back. You both raise each other's frequency. When someone's negative with you, you're driving, gives you the finger. You give the finger back. You just lowered your frequency, your ability to manifest, to follow their low frequency selves.
Literally.
Where it's like when someone gives you the finger on the road now, like what I've taught him even is like, give them a
laugh
heart,
at
like
them.
everything's okay. Or like laugh it off. If someone's really being, which has been happening to us a lot out here.
Yo, the universe
laugh
has been
about it, like,
testing us lately.
Expel that energy.
me
Like
tell
that means
you.
nothing. They've been testing us out.
Yo,
here.
we're just
I feel you.
driving 3 days in a row. Wish we could say we even merged lanes, maybe Sweden. See someone, literally not even. We're in the same lane, car in front of us, can't even go much faster if we wanted to.
Yeah.
Cruising, car pulls up next to us, fuck you! Like, what? What did we do?
The person has all these horrible slurs.
3 days in a row.
So
We're like, what did we do? We
I
didn't
was
do
like,
anything.
I have no idea why that guy just said that. But we laughed
But
about
we
it.
laugh about it.
We laughed
It's like,
about
you
it.
can't, what's it gonna do for you to get mad at him?
Imagine his
that's like-
What, you're gonna
negativity.
chase him down? Oh, fuck you too. What does that do for you? It
Bro,
does nothing.
I feel sorry for you that you're in that much
Literally,
of a rush.
that you're gonna be that mad.
You know, that
It's like,
you're in
why?
that much of a rush. It's like, okay, you got places to be.
Yeah.
If I'm late 5 minutes, I'm late 5
Who
minutes. It's
cares?
cool.
Go in front of me, please.
Yeah, go ahead.
He's gonna
dude.
cause you to curse me out. Please go in front of me.
Good thing.
Please, it's not that big a deal.
I feel like most people don't understand that though.
Yeah.
It comes down to ego, right? It's like, oh, that person hurt me, so I'm gonna hurt them back. It ain't
Don't
like
work
that.
like that.
Yeah.
It don't work like that,
No,
bro.
You're
it's
just
like-
becoming them now.
Literally.
Yeah.
You're
Why
just
not be better?
You're becoming what you said
What
you don't
hate.
like. Yeah.
literally.
Are you Christian at all?
And what?
Are you a Christian?
No, I'm not
You
Christian.
mentioned Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, there's something that is mentioned in the Bible, and this is something that I struggled with a lot, and when people would attack me. Because I'm like, I could easily attack back. I have the brains, I have the information, like, why am I not attacking back? And then I read something, and it was like, even if you don't believe that God, you believe in the universe or spiritual, whatever, it's like, do not take revenge.
Yeah.
And God says, revenge is mine to take. I will give you retribution. You continue on your peaceful life. Do not deal in the ways of wicked men. And like, when I read that scripture, that brought me so much peace because it kind of takes it out of your hands. So even like I said, if you're spiritual, like leave it in the hands of the universe. Understand that the universe is right and just and is going to take care of you. And if you're a good person, if you're going to ignore the hate and continue to spread love, I do believe that you'll be given retribution. You'll be given that place to be taken care of.
I totally agree. Everything goes full circle, right? You get what
You put out.
exactly. You get
And
the
that's what
energy you put out.
The haters, the negative people don't understand. That energy is going to come right back to them. And I try to explain it to so many negative people in my life, and like, you just can't change some people's thought
Well, I've
processes.
noticed that, yo, because I was negative for a while.
Yeah.
And that was mainly because I was almost self-destructing. It was before I found out the car page, and I kind of didn't know what to do in life, so I would project it out because I was like, I can't fix my internal health.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, if I'm just negative, you know, now everyone's on my frequency. That's almost how it felt. I wasn't
Yeah.
purposely trying to bring people down, but it was like I couldn't be positive if I tried to. And it was like, until you taught me that, I was a piece of shit for a long time. And I'll admit that. I was.
It's crazy because you really could decide what life you want to live.
Yeah.
And like, you'll sound like an asshole to some people. They're like, I have depression, I have anxiety. And I'm like, I know. And I'm not trying to like put those emotions down. But like, I was that guy too. I had depression, I had anxiety. And it wasn't until I started speaking to myself saying, you're okay. These emotions are not yours. You're convincing yourself of this facade that you have anxiety. Just tell yourself you don't. And like, that doesn't fix it instantly, especially for some people that really are struggling, but like, it's a start.
Not even just that, as like also learning how to take the good with the bad, right?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, okay, you might have anxiety, but what can help to
Yeah.
A lot of
get
people don't
over
think
it?
about that either.
So-
Do you have a shitty diet? Are you taking care of your body? Are you meditating?
Meditation.
Are you drinking enough water? Like, there's so many details into taking care of yourself that also aren't taken into account by a lot of people.
And also understanding that life it comes in waves. Some days you're going to have a shitty day and you're going to be anxious as fuck, and some days you're going to be happy. It's like, I saw a movie last night where they said, like, oh, everyone is happy, sad. It's like, kind of, I don't want to say, like, conform yourself with the life you have, but understanding that it's like, some days you're going to be okay and some days you're not, and that's okay.
Yeah, that's life.
You know, people think that consistency is like this.
Yeah.
Like consistency is like this, and like just keep going no matter what. Sometimes your 100% is going to be 100%, and sometimes your 100% is going to be 60%.
Yeah.
And that's fine. You know, have some mercy with yourself too. You know, I feel like that's very important to be able to navigate life.
Yeah.
Well, the coolest thing that I've heard was what Hudson told us, where like he'll have a hardship and he'll get excited about it because he knows he's going to come out a better person, or he's going to come out stronger, which is like such a cool way to look at it, that like, yes, something bad did happen to me, but it's for a reason. It's going to be a lesson that I learned. It's not going to happen to me again, which is a great way to look at these opportunities that come into your life.
There is a lot of beauty in hitting rock bottom. I say this all the time. I love hitting rock bottom.
Yep.
And I've done it a few times in the past few years. And the thing that's beautiful about it is there's only one way out, right?
Yeah.
It's like you hit that bottom and you're like, fuck, how do I get out of this? And you learn a lot about yourself.
Yep.
You get humbled.
Makes you stronger.
You learn a lot about the world. You realize that the world doesn't give a fuck about you. It's you and you, brother. Like, you're lucky if you have a friend or a family member to help you out.
Yeah.
But there's beauty in the struggle. J. Cole says this in one of his songs. There is beauty in the struggle. You just got to look for the silver lining, right?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this is happening, but what can I learn from this? How can I get out of this? What can I take from this experience that will make me a better person?
Yeah. Yeah, and I can see that already in you. I know this is like our first time like actually sitting down talking to each other.
And it's a great one, by the way. I'm surprised how this is going in a good way. This is amazing.
It's going really bad. Yeah. What do you think, in your eyes, like, is the biggest thing that caused this transformation? That you are in this more like, stay positive, love is the answer. Like, what brought you here?
Okay, good question. So, my mom is a therapist, one. She works with holistic therapies, which are alternative methods of therapy. It's more related to energy, crystals, and like all of that stuff. So she's helped me a lot with opening my mind and my mindset and all of that. That's one. Shout out, Mom. Don't know where I would be without you, low-key. And on top of that, I feel like the past 7 months that I spent in Spain, I spent so much time alone. Mm-hmm. And before that, I was always surrounded by people. Like, I got into TikTok in 2020, instantly got signed to join a content house. And ever since, life has been a roller coaster, ups and downs, always chasing something, always living super fast. It was the first time in nearly 4 years that I got to slow down. And I was like, wait, who are you, dude? Like, what are the things that you actually love to do? Do you really care if you're living in a mansion in Beverly Hills and going to the coolest parties and hanging out with the cool kids? And I came to realize that no, I like to sit down by the beach, put my feet in the water and listen to good music, play guitar, spend time with my loved ones. Like, I feel like it was definitely the period of time that I got to spend alone with myself and be more introspective.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, what is it that Joao likes? Not what I think other people will like to see about me, right?
Yeah.
And ever since, I've just been way more myself, way more original. This was, by the way, after the show. So, like, Lana's process kind of ignited it, but me going back to that little town and just being by myself was what was like, okay, this is where we need to go.
And that self-reflection again that I feel like a lot of people just won't do.
No.
And they can't do because they're so dialed into their phones until the moment they go to bed. They don't have time to self-reflect.
It's not even that, bro. It's scary.
It's scary too.
It's so scary. Yeah. Like, I might get emotional about this, but it's like, it takes a lot of strength. to dive deep in those like darker parts of yourself that
Absolutely.
you don't even like. You know you have them, but you don't like them, right? You run away from them, you try to hide them, and they come out in the worst way sometimes. And it's like diving deep into those dark parts of yourself and like understanding why you are the way you are and understanding why you do the things you do. Like, why do you lie to people? Why do you hurt people? Why do you let yourself do these things, right? And I feel like people are just scared. It is scary to strip everything that, like, the ego you built around yourself completely down, look in the mirror and be like, who are you? Why are you doing this? It
all relates back to fear. The exact opposite emotion of love, which we said is what we should try to strive for.
It's incredibly scary. Like, it took me a lot, but I'm glad that I did it because it put me to be a better person now.
Yeah.
And it's impressive once you do that.
Yeah.
You will be able to feel it. I'm sure you guys been there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now, let me ask you a question. With this newfound mindset, I wanted to bring something up that you mentioned to me when you were walking in here, that now with this newfound success and you're on the show, now you have an ex coming out saying these things about you, and like, how does that make you feel, and how did you react when you first saw that?
My first reaction was like, what the fuck? I was like, wow, really?
Really seeing this girl's a face like this again. Like,
I mean, bro, I understand. First of all, what she is saying in some of the videos is true. There's one video only that, like, she kind of twisted the truth a little bit, but she already took it.
Make it sound worse.
Yeah, she already took it down, which is like, okay, cool. But I'm honestly just trying to do my own thing. I'm very busy with my projects. I'm finishing an album right now. I'm putting out 3 singles until the end of the year.
Yeah.
So I got a lot on my plate. Made me feel a little sad because I still do have a lot of love for this girl and I care about her a lot. And after I came out the show, I had my realizations and I reached out to her and I was like, hey, honestly, like, I apologize. Like, I fucked up big time. I was a piece of shit to you. I know what I did wasn't cool. I admitted to everything I did wrong, and I do not have a problem with that.
Yeah.
It's like, it's part of becoming a better person, right? Taking accountability for the things you did.
Of course.
And I did do hurt her a lot, and it's okay. She's coping with it however she wants. Do I think it's a little interesting that is right around the time the show comes out?
This is when you want to make this video.
Right?
Of course. And I feel like enough people don't look at that when these things happen. Like, what I've seen with reality TV is today, and this has happened in a couple of years, it's gotten so toxic.
Yeah.
Like, it's gotten so toxic from the fan base to the people on the shows, and it's kind of made me want to take a step back from reality myself, because I'm like, it's a lot. Like,
It's
people
crazy.
are ready to just attack everybody and everything. And like, what people at home need to remember is, like, you have your enemies too. If you were on a show, I'm sure you'd have a bunch of people that would have a lot of crazy things to say about you.
And separating the reality show
Yeah.
to the reality, right?
Yeah.
We're all human beings. We're not just a pawn put on a game for your own little entertainment.
Yeah.
Right? There's a person behind that character that's being edited to be on a TV show.
Yes.
If you're going to hate and talk shit, at least take time to know that person, right? You meant, like, I get it. The ex-girlfriend's coming from a place was like, oh, this is the guy that I met. And that was the guy that she met.
Yeah.
Joao last year was a piece of shit. Like, it's cool. But I try to make it right.
You're not the same person you were a week ago.
Exactly,
Yesterday.
yeah.
Like especially if you're the person, like you've explained, that self-reflects.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I am not the same person that was on Too Out to Handle. Dude,
No.
I am far from it.
Yeah.
I am far from that person.
A lot of people don't understand that, though,
They don't,
because
bro.
they don't change,
They don't
right?
self-reflect themselves. So
Exactly.
they don't understand that being a thing. But once you become that person that does self-reflect, does change who they are, that's when you start judging people less, because you go, there is that ability to change. I saw it in myself, and now I can see that in other people. And like, another thing to look at that I feel like people do not look at is, like, a lot of these ex-boyfriends, ex-girlfriends that want to come forward when someone gets a little clout, they've had a lot of people fuck them over in the past too. Where's the video about them? Why? Because now you have numbers attached to your name. Now they have to talk about you.
Yeah, I don't want to throw, like, any shade and be like, oh, she's trying to, like, ride my wave or whatever, because it ain't like that. I get it. She is doing whatever she thinks is right. I wish her the best. I learned so much from our relationship, right?
It's a great mentality to have that you have towards this, by the way.
She was, I can't lie, she was like probably the deepest love of my life. It was very intense.
Yeah.
Right? We felt like we had this bond from like different lives. And I can't hide that. And she's dealing with that however she wants to deal with. I look at it with a lot of mercy and grace towards her. She taught me a lot about myself. It was the first relationship I actually felt like I could be me, and she loved me for me, not for a facade. I'm very grateful for it, grateful for the moments. It's upsetting me. I can't lie. It's like, it's kind of weird. Like, why not come talk to me and be like, hey, you told me something. What is this going on right now? I was like, why are you going online? Like, why air out all that dirty laundry?
What does that do for you? What is that doing for you?
For anybody.
Just to inflict pain onto you, which is like, I think should reflect more of their own character than who they're trying to be negative about, in my opinion.
Yeah, hurt people, and it's cool.
Exactly,
Not everyone deals with pain and like adversity the same way. She's dealing with how she wants to and how she knows how to deal with. I look at it with a lot of mercy and grace. Thank you for teaching me a new lesson, I guess. And
Yeah, well, because that's what they are, bro.
yeah, we move on. I keep doing my thing. I'm, very busy with the music. I'm gonna put my feelings in the music, and that's just how I choose to deal with it. I'm not gonna go online and talk shit about her. I'm not gonna go online and pull out her skeletons off the closet because, like you said, we all have them. But we just keep moving on, and that's how I choose to live life. A lot of love for her.
The proper way to do it and to attack any situation, including this current situation.
Yeah. A lot of love for her. It will always be love. It will never be hate. Even the people that hate me and they're telling me nasty things on the DMs, like, "Oh, die."
Crazy, right?
No, literally, kill yourself.
Like, I don't know how these people don't see how ridiculous they are.
No, it's insane.
Especially over like defending somebody that you watched a minute clip that you don't even know about if anything's true. Like
over a breakup song.
Like, people are lost, man. People are
just sad. That's
really
what it is.
Lost.
But it's what you said. I deal with that with love. It's like that says a lot about you. I hope God, the universe, whatever you believe in, heals your heart and you can have a different perspective in life as you grow up. And we keep it pushing. Love. That's always.
And another thing that I've learned too is like that I found peace in is like after these people talk shit about you, after these things happen, which happens to anybody that has views, for the most part, and it happens to a lot of us. It's like all you could do is put your work out, do good deeds, or even have a podcast where you could talk and show who you really fucking are, right? And then let real, genuine people be the judge of who you are.
Yeah.
Right? And then anybody else that doesn't want to listen and wants to just judge this surface level version of yourself that's on TV, on social media, they could have that view of you, and it doesn't matter. As long as real people that took the chance to listen to you, see the type of guy you are, as long as they don't judge you, or even if they do, it doesn't matter, but give them the chance to see the real you. And if you could do that, then nothing else matters.
That's what I'm trying to do. And like also trying to show how much I've changed.
Yeah.
Like I don't speak this just to speak it. Like I hear it from my friends all the time. Like, Lindsay from season 5?
Yeah.
So we went out to grab coffee the other day. We're very good friends. And she looked at me. She was like, wow, you look so much more in peace than when I met you last year. Like, you look so much more like yourself. Like, you finally blossomed into yourself. And I was like, thank you. I feel that way. Because soul searching is real. Understanding yourself is real. And you can see it physically. You can see in the way you carry yourself. You can see on the way you talk.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm trying to do is like, they saw me however many months ago on the show, also trying to bring good entertainment, because let's be honest, we're all in there.
Of course, bro.
Trying to make it fun.
Bro, I was talking in third person on the show. I was like, I don't do that. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to have also fun. Like, it's a once in a lifetime experience. So we're all there to put on a good entertainment, make a TV show. Like, imagine how boring if you guys were at home and we're all just sitting there, like, trying to be good. Like, you guys wouldn't want to watch the show, so like, you're welcome, low key.
Yeah. on to a lighter note though, what do you think is gonna be when you know you found the one? Like, terms of love? Like, what type of love do you think is going to be what you're searching for?
Good question. I feel like I believe in soulmates. I believe in like the red string theory.
Okay.
You ever heard of that?
Yes, of course.
I feel like we do have somebody that walks on this earth that's kind of like meant for us.
Yeah, that you're going to run into one way or the other. And if you guys are both ready, it's just going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. And I do believe in that strongly, and I hope that my kind of love is light, respectful, just as intense as mine. Like, I'm a very intense person. If I'm into you, I'm down with you 100%. And like,
Exactly. Have you heard of dark love?
no,
I believe in dark love, where it's like the world could be burning, everything's destroying around us, but like me and you are just still
yeah,
together through it all.
literally.
Like that's the type of love I want, is dark love, where
Like-
it's just like nothing breaks through, no matter what happens, whatever horrible shit happens to you, whatever horrible shit happens to me, like we're in it for the long haul. That's it.
Like a good example is that song "Him and I." I know Halsey and Jeezy broke up, whatever, but like
Yeah.
that kind of love. It's
Exactly.
like we're down for each other no matter what happens.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I had that with the girl that I was with before the show. It just like it wasn't healthy anymore, you know. And
what happens, bro.
it gets to a point where like you either need to take time off, and like you both need to grow to be better people. And I don't know. The universe works in mysterious ways. I don't know who I'm going to meet. I'm only 22 years old, right? But I just hope it's really light. I hope it's peaceful. I hope it's respectful. I hope they match my freak. Like, I'm a weird dude. It's not even my freak. It's like match my weirdness in a way. And we can just both be a couple of deep weirdos together, build a family, tour the world. That type of love. Just wanted to be simple, intense, and respectful. I guess that's the short answer to
Fucking
it.
love it, dude. I feel like we hit a lot of emotional topics through the pod.
Oh, yeah.
I want to get through to a little bit of a funnier aspect.
All right, let's do
I have
it.
a question. Do you know how to tell if a girl's faking it?
Faking it what?
Their orgasm.
Oh, do I know?
Like, have you ever been with a girl and you're like, that shit was not authentic?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
what led you to believe, like, how'd you know that they were faking it?
Because I wasn't that good. I know nights when I'm on my shit.
Yeah.
And I know nights when I'm on my bullshit.
Yeah.
Right? And if I'm on my bullshit and you're like, oh, this is the best thing ever, I'm like, girl, you either didn't get good enough dick or you lying.
Yeah. I'll tell you exactly how I know if they're faking it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know if they're faking it if they still look hot while they're finishing. If they're still like, oh my God, that's a performance.
Yeah.
They're putting on a performance for you. It's like,
Yeah.
you still look way too hot to be coming right now. Like, when they start doing the fucking eye twitch, like, oh, that's when you know they finished. So if they still look hot as fuck, they're faking it.
Yeah, if it's
know
not
what I'm
looking like
saying?
an exorcist in there,
Yeah, if they're not having a full-on exorcism,
they're not like crawling backwards into like a fucking, that's not a real
it's not, dude.
It's actually hilarious.
Is that not true? Like,
No, you're-
if they still look hot, there's no way it's real.
You're
No, I
definitely-
agree. I'm
You're
backing
definitely
that.
onto something. You're onto something. I never looked at it that way, but you're onto something.
It makes sense, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because then it's just an act, yeah.
I mean, of course it's like hot, like it looks hot, but like if they were making that face anywhere else, you'd be like, "You okay?" You know what I mean?
You're good?
Yeah, that's all I'm trying to say.
Are you-
Do you have like if you're comfortable sharing, do you have like a craziest like sex story?
I have a few crazy sex stories.
What's the wildest one?
The wildest. I think the wildest one is
Shit went down. You were like,
Like some
where did my
dangerous
dick
shit.
go? Yeah,
Like I almost killed a girl. That was
you almost
mine.
killed the girl.
no. That is insane. Okay,
Yeah.
I got top 3.
Shit.
I was 15 years old. We were on so like in Brazil, you have 9 years of like elementary. Is it elementary? And then high school.
Yeah.
You have 3 years. So we were in our graduation from year 9,
Yeah.
and we did a trip with like the 3 classes from that year, whatever.
Yeah.
And I had sex with a girl in the travel bus.
In the bus?
In the bus, yeah, like.
Like everyone could see.
No one got to see because we had a blanket and we're like in the back seat. But
That
it
is terrible.
We were like spooning and we fucked in our 9th grade graduation trip.
All right, so what about, you said you're weird, right? You
Yeah.
gotta have some sort of weird kink.
I'm really into older woman.
Really?
Yeah.
How old? Yeah. What's like the age frame we're looking at?
I don't know. The oldest I've been with was one of my mom's friends. I was 19 and she was 42.
That's not that bad.
It's
I was
pretty
expecting like,
wild.
no, that's pretty crazy. But I was expecting like 70. Be like, whoa.
Wait. There's another question because I just realized we have to get the Flight House. We're
Oh,
going to
yeah.
film for Flight House, so check that one out too. But you were mentioning that you were spooning on that school trip, correct?
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people, right, and you would be able to relate to this, obviously. A lot of people, they try to talk about, like, doggy being the best position, like, forms of missionary. Like, have you ever woken up next to somebody, right, and then just in that perfect spooning position just slipped it in, and you're both just locked in? Is that not, like, that's the best position? I don't think there's any debate.
I don't know if it's the best, but it's definitely very intimate.
It's very, it's just very intimate.
It's like, okay, like we're fucking with each other.
Yeah.
You know, doggy is more like I'm trying to get the job done. It's like I'm trying to fuck.
Yeah, doggy's aggressive.
Yeah.
A lot of
Right?
spanking
But
going on there.
there's some girls that enjoy that.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. You know, the the daddy issue.
He couldn't get it out.
So you think girls with daddy issues like doggy more than girls without daddy issues?
I don't think so. It's a statistic.
Okay.
It's a
Well, that's super
statistic.
fun. All right, what a great,
super
what a
fun.
great way to end the podcast. Is there anything you want to share with everybody where they can find you, future projects, before we head out?
Just go to my Instagram at Joel Coronel _. There's a link tree in there with all of my music, my other socials, and all of that. If you want to know a little bit more about me, just tune into my YouTube as well. But
Oh yeah, baby.
I guess that's it.
That was a fucking good one, man. I'm
That
happy
was
you came
great.
on.
That
Oh,
was
yeah.
lit.
Absolutely, brother. Yeah.
It was very nice.
That has been a Not So PG podcast. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend, and we will see you guys on the next one.
Peace.
Thank you
Goodbye.
guys. Love.